My name is Jennifer Steen, and I'm the curator with Clarington Museums and Archives. I've been with the museum since 2011 in various roles, but I just started as curator in September of this year. So we are the official archives of Camp 30 here at the museum. So we have a lot of artifacts, three-dimensional artifacts, as well as archival material, so photographs, any correspondence, maps, letters, that kind of thing. We house here in our collections area, which is downstairs of the Sarah Jane Williams Heritage Center. The land where Camp 30 and the Boys Training School sits was owned by Mr. Jury, and he also owned 150 acres of where that property sits, and that was called Darch Farm. In 1924, he donated that land, 150 acres, to the Government of Ontario to open the first training school in Ontario. So it was used as a boys training school from 1924. It was seconded during the Second World War, so from 1941 to 1945, to become a prisoner of war camp. After the war ended, it did return back to a training school for boys. That closed in 1979 when views changed on taking children from their homes, and it closed. From then it was just a series of private schools until the site officially closed in 2008. It was kind of like a reform school, right? So at the beginning, the boys necessarily that were coming early on in 1924 and such necessarily hadn't broken the law. But after that, after the war years, they were kind of delinquent boys that may be in trouble with the law. They were taken there as a way to, learn how to be introduced back into society, learn skills, and teach them things. Everybody has their own story of what happened when they were there and how they were treated, right? So I can't speak for what went on there. I don't know. We have some archival documents, and I mean, we have the material that they, the government has put out about what happened there. I know the living quarters were nice, right? So the buildings themselves were nice. They, the food was good. It wasn't a jail in that sense, right? They were still tended to like chickens on the farm that were there. They did horticulture and gardening. There was a swimming pool on site, and they did lots of sporting activities and that kind of thing. So I can't speak to their personal experiences as to what happened there. But the site itself was known as a world-class site as far as the buildings and the services that were there. During the Second World War, like I said, the site was seconded to become a prisoner of war camp. So the site was already there. It was owned by the government. It was far enough away, then from anything. So it was considered a good site, and that's why it was seconded to become. They had over 800 prisoner of war at Camp 30 at one time, so they did need to build the extra barracks. So they came in, they built extra barracks for the prisoners to sleep in. Yes, put barbed wire around, put the guard towers up. They also held, here at Camp 30, they held the highest ranking German officers. So these were very well educated men with high ranking positions within the German army. Life for them, they were able to keep their rank. They were able to keep their pay. They were able to, they lived a comfortable life in the prisoner of war camp. So it returned to being a boys training school. All of the barracks were taken down. When that closed down, the government sold the property, and then, like I said, various private schools bought the property or rented the property from then until it officially closed in 2008. It was designated as a National Historic Site in 2013, so it's a very important piece of history, and the buildings that were deemed salvageable are still standing, and like I said, the municipality is working together with the Caitlin Group to determine how those will be used, and they will be saved and preserved, and the story will be told. So that's very exciting for that to be happening. So the people of Clarington and beyond, right, know about the site and the history of the site and have a chance to go on and experience it and explore it, I think is great.